Okay, that's 5. This is going to be 5 blogs for tonight. This is going to be my last one. But again, this is strictly my opinion. But this is going to be some drivers, teams that got off easy with either rule violations or something they did on the racetrack. Mainly drivers. And in no particular order. But some of them you might agree with, some of them you might disagree with. The first one, and let me put on this, this has never been confirmed, but in the 73 fall race at Charlotte, now run on the Roval, bad idea, Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty were protested by first and second place. Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty were protested by third place finishing Bobby Allison. It was never confirmed, but widely rumored they had big engines. Now, if they did, they should have been disqualified, but there was a little catch. Richard Howard, then general manager of Charlotte Motor Speedway, owned Cale Yarborough's car, and they had put up $100 a lap for lap money. I think Cale led over 200 laps, actually made more in lap money than the race paid. Well, Richard Howard was quick to announce the lap money would go to Cale Yarborough regardless of NASCAR's decision. Bobby Allison, furious, announced he was quitting NASCAR. Only come back after a closed-door meeting with, I believe, NASCAR president at the time, Bill France Jr. Now, if they were illegal, they should have been no money, no points, put to the rear of the field, and Cale Yarborough should have been fined $5,000 more than the lap money he made. That would stop that. Now, Bobby Allison wasn't always so innocent. This is the next one. Some of these don't even have the year on, but this is 74 at Ontario. By then driving the Matador for Roger Penske, who once quit NASCAR saying he doesn't cheat. Really, Roger? Well, after the race, they found illegal roller tappets on the valve lifters. Now, I don't believe that's really a speed advantage. It's actually a durability thing. It may be legal now, but at the time they were illegal. And Allison wasn't really in the points that year, and they weren't into taking points, and they had a weird point system a year based on money won. So they fined him $9,100, but the win stood. I didn't like that. They should have took the win away. Second place should have got it. I don't know who second place was. Now, here's one that should have been taken away. Richard Petty, 1983. The cubic inch limit is 358 cubic inch. He's caught with a 383 cubic inch engine, which what it sounds like is running the 400 cranking a 350. I believe that's how you get, short trackers get 383s. But if it was over 383, it could have been bored a little, what have you, but still. On top of that, he had left side tires on the right side of the car. Highly illegal. Good for a short run. Long run, you'd blow a tire. They're softer by design on an oval. Fined, I think, $35,000, 100 and some points taken away from him. Win stand. Bad idea. 1990, and Mark Martin and Ford fans, go ahead and put your dislike on it, but the one they say cost them the championship. Illegal spacer. I don't remember if the spacer itself was illegal or the way it was mounted was illegal. Okay, carburetor spacer, okay. Doesn't matter. And under today's rules, and I like that idea, they're now disqualifying him. He would have been disqualified. Had he been disqualified, no money, no points, a close points race, I think 2 points when it come down to Atlanta, which Dale Earnhardt won. And again, I was a Dale Earnhardt fan. That it would have been no contest. Earnhardt would only had to start the race. But the right guy won, in my opinion. Now, I know my opinion's probably skewed, and it's no secret I don't like Jack Roush. I'm not crazy about Fords. So, okay, now let's get into more modern times. This was at, I want to say California, but it don't matter. Logano and Hamlin had that feud. Well, first I was ready to write this off as a racing accident. On the last lap, Logano gets into Hamlin and he hits a inside wall and hurts his back, is out for a few races. Well, at first I was ready to write that off as a racing accident until I heard some radio chatter on Race Hub way back in whatever year it was. I don't even remember. It's not important. But I thought Logano should have sat out of racing and park him. Don't suspend him. You can appeal a suspension, but not a parking. Such as Kevin Harvick at Martinsville one year when he got into one of the Gibbs trucks. Don't even remember which one. Doesn't matter now. Now, here's one that was a 2-race suspension that was upheld, but I thought it should have been the rest of the year. Matt Kenseth. And the good thing about this now is this wouldn't happen because Kenseth had been behind the wall and would not make it on the 6-minute rule. But when he waited on Logano at Martinsville, he should have been out for the season, frankly. There was no call for that. Now, here's one where he should have been parked for a race. Brad Keselowski did a burnout in the garage at Charlotte. Fall race, knocked somebody's transmission across the garage. There's no place for that. There's no place for burnouts in NASCAR anyway, including on the victory, in my opinion. And he should have sat out a race for that. Again, park him, don't suspend him. Now, think I'm easy on the guys I like? No. When Gordon waited on Bowyer at Phoenix, as soon as NASCAR come out with a penalty, I think it was 100 points and a $100,000 fine, they immediately announced, Hendrick Motorsports announced, we're not appealing. Well, of course not. Because the appeals board or the commissioner could actually raise the penalty and he could be sitting out Homestead. I think he won Homestead that year. But, you know, he didn't have a reputation for that. Frankly, I think that's a cheap shot waiting on him. Now, Carl Edwards, retired driver now, Cousin Carl as they like to call him. In Atlanta, when he turned over Brad Keselowski, he should not have been allowed at the next race. I remember Kyle Petty getting on, and we were at that race, Kyle Petty getting on victory lane and saying he should be suspended. He should have been, they parked him for the rest of that race. They should have kept him for the next weekend. Then at Gateway Speedway in a second-tier race, I don't know if it was Nationwide back in or whatever, but second-tier, what Xfinity now. Him and Keselowski is again in a bumping match. Well, yeah, Keselowski got into him, but then he just flat destroys Keselowski coming out of 4 to win the race. And I remember Brad's dad, Bob, and I watched him race in ARCA, saying, I'll get my own uniform back out. He ain't going to kill my boy. And I had to agree with him. Now, one more time, Edwards at Michigan had been battling Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Robbie Gordon, both driving, I think they called it Chance 2 Motorsports at the time. But Earnhardt winds up winning the race. Edwards claims he lifted his back tires off the ground, but NASCAR deemed it a racing accident. Okay, fine. But then Edwards come out of the pits after the checkered fall. Why they let him out's beyond me. Why they didn't throw a stop paddle at him, I'll never know, because it was not going to improve his position. Leaders had already crossed. He could cross the line on pit road to complete his lap. And Hitch Jr., who has his arm out the window waving. Now, right there, Edwards should have been parked for the next race. That's not the only time Edwards should have been. That's at least 3 times Edwards should have been parked. And the last one, a lot of people remember this. It's all over YouTube what he did. Now, I frankly don't know how to link to videos and don't want to get into copyrights and all that stuff. So, Kyle Busch of Texas running the truck race. Fortunately, they've now barred full-time Cup drivers from running the last few races in Cup or Xfinity now. Him and Ron Hornaday's racing hard, going around the lap truck, I think. They get together. Neither truck is badly damaged. The caution comes out. Yeah, they need to pull fenders out. It's very early in the race. Kyle Busch just flat wrecks Hornaday under caution. Well, Kyle Busch was parked for that weekend. Kyle Busch should have been parked till after the next year's Daytona 500 with no exemption to get in the top 30. When you step down a series, you got a man who's in contention for the, or woman who's in contention for the championship, and you pull something like that, you need to be sitting your butt at home or up on the pit box. Suspended, he can't be at the track, but parked he can. They should just maintain. I think it was Phil Parsons that he should be parked for the rest of this race and maybe for the season, and I wholeheartedly agreed with him on the truck race. I really don't like getting into trucks. I really don't like that Fox and Fox Sports 1 has now put Phil Parsons in the studio. They ought to ship Waltrip out to pasture and put Phil Parsons at the racetrack. But that's just been my opinion. I'm sure there's others that got off easy. Some of you say Earnhardt got off easy at times and whatnot. Some of you say Earnhardt Jr., but except for the very first one, these are documented cases of what happened. That's it for tonight. Hope you enjoy.